Doesn't it feel great to be alive? Hey, baseball YouTube fans, hope all you guys are enjoying the start to your Monday and your week. I hope you all had a great weekend as well, especially watching postseason baseball, because when it is October baseball, there is a special vibe in the air that you just do not get in spring training or the regular season. But yes, guys, happy beloved Monday, and in tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about the two playoff games for tonight in game 2 of the NLDS. All right, baseball fans, so really the big news you need to know for game 2 tonight is, let's talk about game 2 of the NLDS between the Cubs and the Brewers. Obviously, in game 1, the Brewers took game 1 9-3, the final score over the Chicago Cubs. And the story was really Jackson Chourio getting taken out of the game early due to a hamstring issue. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight in game 2, Jackson Chourio will lead off for the Milwaukee Brewers, and he will play left field. So Jackson Chourio is in tonight's Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup, and he is going to start in left field. And then the big story of it is also that in Milwaukee, the roof will be closed. The roof will not be open. It will be closed. So that is the story. Also, guys, with a lefty on the mound, the Chicago Cubs lineup is a little bit different. Justin Turner will play. Justin Turner will start at first base. He will also be the leadoff hitter in tonight's game 2 for the Chicago Cubbies. Hey, baseball fans, Ryan here. The Phillies are now 3 outs away from going down 0-2 in the NLDS to the Dodgers. So, of course, we will find out if the Phillies can make some noise in their final 3 outs of game 2 of the NLDS. And then right after that is game 2 of my Chicago Cubs versus Milwaukee Brewers. Again, that is also game 2 of the best of 5 in the NLDS. So, guys, right after the Cub Brewer game, I will be right back here. We're going to look at the game 2 matchups in the NLDS. Hey, baseball fans, Ryan here. Boy, did we have a crazy day 2 in the NLDS tonight with 2 games: Dodgers, Phillies, Cubs, Brewers. And we're going to get into all of that because it's day 3 of the ALDS tomorrow. So let's get to the first game of the night: Dodgers, Phillies, game 2 of the NLDS in a best out of 5. Obviously, game 1, Shohei Ohtani made his MLB postseason starting debut. He ended up having 1 bad inning, and he ended up getting the freaking win. So really heading into tonight's game, the Dodgers were already up 1-0. And tonight, they gave the ball to the southpaw left-hander, Blake Snell. Now, I didn't really watch this game. I watched a little bit of it, kind of towards the end of it, because I wanted to watch my Cubs-Brewers game in that game, too. So, basically what happened if I could sum up the Dodgers-Phillies game 2 of the NLDS tonight, it's pretty simple. Blake Snell was absolutely dominant. I mean, it really, in a way, it looked like the Philadelphia Phillies were completely, like, lost. Like, they could not figure out Blake Snell. So, you know, everybody's like, well, if that's happening, there's really no way the Phillies are going to go out and win this game. And the crazy story about this is, guys, that going to the bottom of the ninth in Philadelphia, the Dodgers were up 4-1. All right. And the one thing I love about postseason baseball is, you know, really one little thing that, like, in spring training or the regular season or even the All-Star game doesn't mean squat. Like, it's not a rally, but like a leadoff base runner, even if you're down by 10 in the postseason, now that's a rally. Or the Phillies, they really had a no give up attitude. And what I meant by that is, remember, going to the bottom of the ninth, they were down 4-1 to the Dodgers. They ended up making it a whole lot more interesting. They ended up going from down 4-1 in the bottom of the ninth to make it a 4-3 ball game. Now then we have a ball game. And I actually remember Jeff Francoeur said that if the Dodgers lost or the Dodgers lose this game, there's going to be a lot of criticism, and I mean a lot of criticism on Dave Roberts. And I'll be honest with you, I think the Dodgers, they didn't win tonight. They escaped with the win. Now, what I mean by that is that they won by literally the skin of their teeth. Okay, and if you're a Dodgers baseball fan, come on. You have got to be thanking the baseball gods. Because I'm going to be very honest with you guys. The Phillies, they don't want to go to Dodger Stadium in California down 2 games and all that. Well, the good news is the Dodgers are up 2-0 in the NLDS, but really what's the bad news for the Phillies is now they got to win the next 3 games in a row to go to the NLCS. And 2 of those next 3 games are going to be at Dodger Stadium. And the LA Dodgers are, like, in 2025, they have been absolutely dominant at Dodger Stadium. They're one of the best teams playing at home this season. And the Philadelphia Phillies got to go in that environment. Might I add, the Dodgers are 2-0 this postseason at Dodger Stadium. Because, remember, the LA Dodgers hosted the wild card against the Reds, and they swept them at home. So, the Phillies, don't get me wrong, guys, the Philadelphia Phillies were the number 2 seed in the National League this year. But now they got to go play game 3. And literally, they're already down 2-0. And all the Dodgers got to do on Hoop Day, which, by the way, Hoop Day is Wednesday, is all the Dodgers got to do is go win. They win on Hope Day or Wednesday, they're going to automatically go to the NLCS. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. The Philadelphia Phillies were literally the number 2 seed in the NL. The LA Dodgers were the number 3 seed. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I don't know if you know this, but Philadelphia, that city, man, the one thing about Phillies fans, well, it doesn't matter what sport it is in Philly. They are die-hard, passionate baseball fans. They will boo their own team if the team is not doing good. So, you caught Ron Thompson, the manager. The Phillies are really a team that when they play at home, they're pure gold. And in the 2 games this postseason that they've been at home, they've played like they're a little lost, which really is not a good thing. Well, here's the thing, guys. I got to ask you guys a question, because in 2 days is going to be the game 3 of the NLDS. Really, if you're the Phillies right now, you're down 2-0. You're going to have to play at Dodger Stadium on Hoop Day. The $1,000,000 question is, what do you do? You got Aaron Nola going in game 3, but what do you do? You know, I'm going to say this, okay? The Dodgers are not going to roll in to Dodger Stadium on Hoop Day and just automatically let the Phillies win 1 game, okay? The Phillies are now in a fight of their life. The Phillies are going to literally have their back against the wall, and they're going to have to fight and scramble and scratch and claw for everything they got, because there is only one way the Phillies are going to go to the NLCS. They are going to have to win the next 2 games at Dodger Stadium, go back to Philadelphia, and win the deciding game 5. And, you know, right now the Phillies have an uphill battle against the LA Dodgers. Remember, guys, the Dodgers may have played in the wild card, and that automatically gives the Phillies an advantage. But in the first 2 games for the Dodgers, I mean, other than tonight, I mean, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Don't ever, I guess the one thing I always, you know, I may not be a Dodger baseball fan, but I always say do not count out the Dodgers. Never. Never in a million years, because you know what? These guys, the LA Dodgers, they won the World Series last year. They want to go back to back and win it. And, you know, the motivation, the confidence, that's really all they need. When the Dodgers are a confident team, literally, there is pretty much nobody in MLB that is going to slow them down. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. I am absolutely not counting out the Philadelphia Phillies, but I am saying they got the uphill battle to go. They got to fight. They got to scratch. They got to claw. And they're going to be at Dodger Stadium on Wednesday. And even if they win Wednesday, they got to go back the very next day and win again to force a Game 5 winner-take-all in Philadelphia. Okay, now I'm going to be very honest with you. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. But they are going into enemy territory. The Dodgers went into enemy territory and won both games. So I guess the question I have for the Phillies is simple. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to go to the NLCS? How bad do you want to go back to Philly in the deciding game 5? Because, you know, the next, well, I'm not going to say the next 2 games. I'm going to say on Hoop Day, it is about one thing for the Phillies. It's not about winning. It's about survival, okay? Because, you know, with the Phillies, it's easy to say, oh, we'll go out and I'm going to win and we're going to come back and make it's all easy. It's only about survival. You know, when you win 1 game in the postseason, that 1 win, that's motivation. That's momentum. When you have momentum in October baseball, that takes you a long way. There were literally teams in baseball. There were teams in hockey. There were teams in football. There were teams in volleyball. And all they need is a little momentum. You know, and that momentum, I mean, when it hits, it hits. Okay? Now, obviously, the Dodgers, the best thing is that they're in where they control their own destiny. The Dodgers can control absolutely everything that's going on. All they got to do is win 1 more game, and they're in the NLCS like that. But for the Phillies, man, they got to have the momentum. They got to have the drive. They got to be able to go to Dodger Stadium on Hoop Day, and they got to also face Yamamoto, and they got to beat him. And they already know they have an uphill battle, and they still. But you know what? I think the biggest thing it comes to for the Phillies right now is believe. You know, believe. We just got our ass kicked in our house. So Now we got to go to their house and we got to do what they did to us. So we could go back to our house and make a really big comeback. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if the Phillies can win 3 in a row, then game 1 and 2, they don't matter anymore. You know what, guys? That one win, if the Phillies win on Hope Day, that even may be one win, but it will be momentum. Okay? And when you have a little momentum, all you got to do is you got to take that little momentum you got and you got to keep it rolling. Because the more momentum you get in playoff baseball, the more better and the more dangerous your team becomes. I'm telling you, the Phillies can do it, but they got an uphill battle. And they got to, before they can get that momentum, they got to really believe that they can do it. They just can't go out and say they're going to do it. They got to truly believe that they're going to do it.